Dating in your 30s in Orange County, it's rough. But being Asian makes it even worse.
I'm just gonna say it outright. Dating in Miami is not for the weak. Dating in Miami is not for the lover girls, and dating in Miami is not for the women who want anything serious out of life.
So I'm turning 35 soon, and I have spent most of my life single. I was in one.
The life independent women fought for seems to be biting them in the butt. Some are complaining the single tax is real, while some are still trying to find the perfect guy in their 30s.
This is a question for all single straight men. Is it true that single straight men in 2025 just don't want to be with women at all? I've really just gathered that men don't want to be with women these days because I've encountered some men who act like they're attracted to me, act like they want to hang out with me, but they're just super inconsistent. And I've come to some conclusions as to why this is, but I would like the men to answer me. I feel like men admitting that they want to be with women requires them to look inside themselves and do some work, and men don't want to do that. I also think that because women are now at a place where we can provide for ourselves, men aren't needed for what they used to be needed for, so maybe men feel like they don't have to be with women. I need answers.
I can say for certain that a lot of men are not interested in dating or even entertaining modern women. It's a very valid question she asks, to be honest, because many women are realizing that men aren't doing the same things they used to do. In 2025, majority of men are just focusing on themselves, and the men this woman is likely running into are just players. To be honest, they just aren't really into her. And regarding what she said, it's quite the opposite. A man couldn't care if a woman could take care of herself. That's her job as an adult. Men don't feel the need to be with women because of women. It's really not that complicated. If anything, it's been this massive push of many women pushing men away that's made many of them distant and rethinking entering into a relationship.
Okay, something I feel like that's not talked about enough on this app is being single and financially how hard it is. I literally work 2 jobs. I work in sales and I teach Pilates part-time. Both of the jobs pay pretty well. Still, I feel like it's so hard to stay afloat. And like, don't get me wrong, I like to ski. I definitely don't live a frugal life. I have a nice apartment. Never say no to plans, but like, how are people doing it? How are you attending everyone's bachelorette parties, everyone's birthday dinner, going on all of these trips with your friend and having leftover money to spend on yourself? Completely stopped doing my hair, so that saves some money. Truly exhausting. I just don't understand it.
Hey, you guys, I'm back. Sorry to leave you guys hanging. All my dates went really bad. Got ghosted a couple times, just not good vibes. Took a month off, focused on me, and I'm back, but I don't know if there's going to be any more dating because it's rough out there. So, might be single forever. If you know anybody, you can drop their name below. I'll swipe up. I'm just not swiping left or right.
So I'm turning 35 soon, and I have spent most of my life single. I was in one relationship for 3.5 years. Have dated whatever. I'm in a relationship now, but that's fairly new. And I'm writing an article on the single tax. So I'm talking about how, you know, in your 30s, 20s and 30s, a lot of people, a lot of friends settle down, they get engaged, they get married, they have babies. And if you're chronically single, like I have been for most of my life, you end up fronting up a lot of money to share these milestones with them. And like, while that's all amazing and good and whatever, I think sometimes it can be lost how much you do spend on this kind of stuff on a single wage. So this is coming from like going to engagement parties, hens parties, weddings, destination weddings, baby showers, baby presents, without, you know, the chronically single people having anything that ever really celebrates them. So I'm writing an article about it, and I'd be really curious to hear other people's stories about how much they think they've spent on the single tax. And obviously this is not even going into like the rent you spend as a single person, the way you need to like save up for a house on your own and all that kind of stuff too. But like, if you could put a figure on how much you've spent as a single friend on other people's milestones, I would love to hear it.
The single tax on women is just them complaining about how hard it is for them and the fact that they have no one to share the responsibility with, nor anyone to pay the bills with. It's not some deep societal injustice. It's just adulthood hitting them with reality. When they say single tax, what they're really saying is, it's expensive doing it all by myself. I wish someone else could split these bills with me. I didn't think independence would actually require responsibility. They're mad that there's no man covering the parts of life they never wanted to deal with. And the ironic part, these are the same women who pushed the loudest about being strong, independent, and not needing a man. Now they're realizing what the independent life comes with. Here's another one.
3 very specific instances when I'm reminded that I'm single and I don't want to be is when my rent gets increased and I'm paying that by myself, when I go to a wedding and I get a +1 and I don't have a +1 to bring, and when I have no plans and I want plans, but I don't want to leave my couch at the same time.
Why isn't anybody talking about the single tax? It is significantly more expensive to be single, to the point that it's like economically irresponsible to cook when you're single. It costs $75 to make a meal, not to mention the cost of running the dishwasher, washing up all of the pots and pans. And then what am I going to do? Eat lasagna for 6 days? When I could use Uber Eats and one of their various codes each week to get a salad for $9. Imagine paying half your rent because you share your apartment with somebody, half your electricity bills, half your cable, Hulu, Amazon, Netflix subscriptions. When you're going to the airport on a trip, you don't have to pay $70 for an Uber by yourself because you're splitting it with somebody. Forget saving money on a Costco membership. When am I ever going to use 36 apples? It's honestly the only argument I have for getting in a relationship. It is expensive to stay single. Just imagine if there were no more single people. The food and beverage industry would just collapse.
If you marry a man who believes in a 50-50 relationship, you are quite literally ruining your life. Not only will he expect 50-50 financially, but he will expect it in all aspects of his life. Mindset of a 50-50 man is one that is, I did this for you. What are you doing for me? And you just don't want that for the rest of your life. I've seen men with this mindset expect half of the rent, half of the expenses, even though they make more than the woman. In the beginning of the relationship, you ask him what his expectations are when splitting expenses, and he tells you it's 50-50. I would definitely run in the other direction. I know a lot of women are okay with an equitable relationship, and if that's okay with you, totally go for it. A man that is generous will never expect a woman to split things. He will just try to take care of as much as he possibly can. Anytime a man says, what do you offer? That's already the wrong mentality. A true man honestly knows that women have a lot to offer. If you're in the position where you are about to give birth and your man is still expecting you to contribute to half of everything, having children and giving birth is definitely not a 50-50 task. If you're ever in that position, you should ask him how he is contributing 50-50 to giving birth to a child. Signs that he's into this 50-50 lifestyle is getting charges after a date night, not covering your portion of the bill when going out with friends and it's a small amount. How embarrassing would it be if he bought you guys a cookie and it was like $3 and he charged you $1.50? Anyway, 50-50 men are not the vibe. They'll literally ruin your life, so stay away. Bye.
Basically, she's saying that a woman should just leech off a guy while she does nothing. She's telling women to run if a guy believes in 50-50, but in reality, the guy should be running. Dealing with women who believe that men should pay for their existence and take care of them, while they do nothing, is exactly the type of mindset that's driving men away in the first place. Because think about it. These women want traditional benefits without offering traditional value. They want a man to be a provider, protector, leader, while they get to relax, post selfies, complain online, and bring the bare minimum to the table. That's not partnership. That's parasitic. They'll literally shame a man for expecting teamwork, for expecting maturity, for expecting responsibility. But if we're being honest, no healthy man wants to date a full-grown adult who behaves like a dependent child. It is pure entitlement.
So if you're divorced or in your 30s and just single, wondering what it's like to date, just don't do it. One of my besties got wifed up for a hot minute, so I was like, maybe I should get back out there and try and explore, see if I can find someone. So far we're at multiple records, whether it's drug use, OWIs, whatever. I'm a single mom. I don't have time to play around with that. Frankly, I don't even want to be with someone. If you have a single red flag, no way. But literally every single person that I've matched with is either a total creep or has a record, apparently, if they seem normal and nice. And I'm just it's not even worth it. Just get another dog.
Can we just talk about how annoying it is to date as an attractive woman? I don't know how it is for y'all, but I do a lot of things, okay? I model, I work, I have a couple of jobs. I do this, I do that, I do everything, right? So I'm always meeting people. I'm always seeing new people. I've noticed that a lot of people just want to experience me. They'll think that they want to, I don't even know if they think that. They just want to experience me. I'm starting to see what people mean when they say date people who like you, because I have recently, ran into a couple people who actually like me. They actually want to be around me, and they make that very known. They communicate, they consider me with things that's, they have going on. If they know they're going to be busy, they'll hit me up. Hey, I'm going to be doing this from this time to this time, or a couple hours, whatever. Date people who like you. And if you get the feeling that somebody doesn't like you, they probably don't like you. And then you can also like a person but not want to be with them. And I feel like that's what happens a lot with me. People like me, they like my personality, they like how I look, they like the thought of me. But as far as long term, I don't think that they're ready for that, because I'm not an easy person to please. Anyways, I ain't gonna get into all of that. What I came to say is, it's hard. It's hard. The streets, I ain't even in the streets, y'all. I just wanna find my person. That's it. That's hard. It's just I'm tired of being lusted after. That's really, I'm tired of that.
Lady, the problem is you. Hard to please equals hard to get along with. Any woman who says she's hard to please is a headache. You must get ready to climb trees to impress them and jump through hoops like some circus act just to get the bare minimum acknowledgement. Women who brag about being hard to please don't realize they're literally advertising that they bring more stress than peace. They're telling men up front, I'm ungrateful. Nothing is ever enough for me. You'll never satisfy me no matter what you do. And I require constant attention and validation. That's not a personality. That's a walking red flag. And the crazy part is, they think this makes them high value. They think being difficult somehow makes them more desirable. But men today don't see it that way. Men see it as a fast path to misery, arguments, emotional exhaustion, and thankless effort.
If you're a man, let me give you a piece of advice. If you ask a woman on a date and it's very subtle and it's a calm date, coffee, brunch, a walk, nice sunset view, go watch the sunset together, and she says no and she's expecting you to take her to the Masoni room at the Bibelots, she's trying to get one over on you, and she's trying to see if you'll bite the bait.
Women trying to get one over on you is absolutely one reason, but there's two more reasons why they do this. The second reason why is because they've only had toxic relationships that are very transactional, and that's what she's used to. She wants you to give her a high transaction so that then she's willing to maybe give you a transaction back. The third reason is because she doesn't have her own mind, and she just listens to social media. And what social media and maybe her friends and family are telling her is that a man needs to do this, or else he doesn't really care, or he's low value and you shouldn't really put any effort in. But what matters most for you guys to know is that with all three of these reasons, it doesn't really matter why. You don't need to get down to which reason is which, because in the end all, she's not somebody that you want to date because she is absolutely displaying her red flags. This is not going to be a fun person to be in a relationship with. Trust me.
Don't get me wrong, I love being single and I love living alone. It's great, it's fantastic, but fuck, it's expensive. I just spent $600 on brakes on my car, just on the front part of the car, because I couldn't afford all four brakes and axles and rotors and whatever the fuck. And then now I just paid my car payment, which is $500, so I just blew $1,100 in 3 hours, and it wasn't even fun, Fuck. Sorry, it's just so overwhelming. You work and 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 you work, and it's just to pay off like your basic necessities. And you can't, like, in this city that I live in, public transport, please. If I were to do public transport, it's like asking to get raped, and I really shouldn't be crying because now I have to go to another work event, and now I'm gonna be all puffy. I'm just... Living is so expensive. Just keeping yourself alive and floating is so expensive. And what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted is if I were to take public transport here, especially for my job requires a car. I have to have a bunch of shit that I have to lug with me for work. And I can't do that with public transport. I'm venting. Inflation sucks. Just living in America sucks. Living alone sucks. It's great, but it sucks. Because you have to front all the expenses by yourself. I need a husband just so that I can live. So we can split the bills.
Oh wow, look at this. A woman complaining about paying for things and how expensive it is. You know, during this video, I had a thought. If the idea of 50-50 wasn't marketed as a bad thing mostly by women, many of these women wouldn't have to do it all by themselves. They literally shamed men for wanting partnership, calling 50-50 broke behavior. And now they're shocked they're stuck carrying every bill alone. This woman is literally crying because all she does is work and work to pay her rent and a bunch of other things. She's overwhelmed because she's realizing that living alone, being independent, and not wanting partnership all come with a price.